Unfortunately, Javi and Santinel's N4 Subaru was still purring along.
In the stages that we've been watching, Serge looks very in control of things. He's not overdriving, he's not sliding off the road. Enzo, on the other hand, I think was definitely overdriving. Yanni's trying very hard to stay in touch. If things stay as they are, I think, you know, like I said, Serge.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like you predicted. Interesting also to see when the A7 cars this high up this early, and none of the N4 cars really in contention. Gemmell having had that flat tyre in Volkrans.
I think it's been a very bad day for N4 cars. Well, maybe 2 days, because first of all, Schalk went. Johnny Gemmell had a flat wheel for 12 kilometers, dropped him back at minute 45 or something. Fernando Rueda had a fire on board, fire extinguisher go on board. So, yes, bad luck for them, really, more than anything else. But Ergen has been going like hell. And he lost 12 minutes in the last stage with electrical problems. So, you know, the N7 cars are there or thereabouts. And I think at this pace, we might have some of the top guys fall out still.
Everything was running like clockwork in the Toyota camp, with tyres one of the many critical issues on some of the longer stages.
Serge, you've done 6 stages now. It looks pretty under control from your side.
Well, I wouldn't say pretty under control, but we're having a steady pace and we're not sticking our neck out at the moment. So we'll see later on what's going to happen.
And the car certainly sounds like $1 million.
Yeah, the car's going very well and it feels strong. So I just hope we can keep it together.
Lead into the night if you can.
I'd like to lead and maybe open a gap tonight. Just hope there's enough dust to give them.
Janelle, it seems the pace is a bit quicker than we all expected.
Yeah, the guys are starting off pretty briskly for a long event like this. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. But I think it's a little bit too quick for 2 days of rallying.
And it doesn't seem like the four-wheel drive threat has materialized at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm very surprised at their pace. I thought they would be a lot better. We're once again struggling with our engine, so we're a little bit desperate at this stage.
You haven't had any tyre problems yet? Like in the previous rally, overheating tyres and that type of thing?
No, I think tyre choice is fairly critical, yeah, because it seems to that certain types of tyres are working better on the harder surfaces. But, you know, we're going into a phase now where we do 2 stages in a row without tyre change. So one's got to be a bit careful on your selection of tyres and make sure that they can last a distance.
So it looks like you've been driving pretty hard, but you find yourself 30 seconds off the pace.
Yeah, I'm struggling. We're involved with a bit of engine tuning. The engine keeps detonating and then we have to take timing off to save it. So you know, it looks like we found a safe area now, and I can start relax and just find a pace. It's been difficult because, you know, the engine's up and down. It was overheating. All the red lights were on us in the long 27k stage. So that rattles you. You know, I think I've just settled down in the last stage.
And you expected tyre problems? Has that materialized?
Yes, I think in the next few stages, the 27k one was sandy, so it didn't eat too many tyres. And the stages coming now proof will be in the pudding there.
Of all the funny things to happen, a fire extinguisher going off.
Yeah, so it never happened to me before. We were going in stage quite happily, and the next thing we just had water everywhere. We assumed it was the engine that a pipe had come loose. So we stopped and parked. So well, that's it, that's us. The temperature was a little bit hot. It was quite a tight stage, not enough air. It looked just over 100. And then I said, let's have a look. When I opened the bonnet, it's coming out of the extinguisher. Has it ever happened to you in a rally car?
In a racing car once, yes. But that cost you 2 minutes.
Yeah, it cost me 2 minutes. So now we are way down. I don't know. In fact, I think the A6 cars are in front of us now. We've made a bit of time back now. We've taken some time off chart, and we're going to try. Now we just got to push like hell, so tomorrow morning we can stay where we are.
We've still a day and a half left, though.
Yeah, but, you know, Gemmell is now over a minute ahead of us, and you know what a minute is. You know, we started at the stage in front of him. Now he's in front of us. So we're going to try.
Amso Hodgson team was now the one to beat, and with none of the N4 cars even close, the onus was on Volkswagen's dueling duo to take the fight to Toyota. But would the internal rivalry between Habich and Enzo be allowed to spin out of control? Gemmell too was finally realizing that any hope of catching the frontrunners would mean upping his pace, and he set joint fastest time in stage 8. Star of the team total show for now was Etienne Lawrence, whose Toyota Corolla was still soldiering on, despite the persistent misfire that had plagued the Italian for much of the rally thus far. Having expected the A7 Polo players to dominate, Lawrence was enjoying having the upper hand for a change. The Lancer Evo of Rueda was also running strongly in N4 and whittling away at the deficit earned in stage 5. But for Chart van der Walt and Mike Burrows, the total had become a nightmare. Fuel pressure problems hampered their progress, and eventually the engine let go in stage 8. Also still on target and looking deceptively relaxed were Singh and Barnard in their Subaru Impreza. The Zambian was obviously betting on at least some of the frontrunners falling by the wayside. By setting consistently clean stage times, JP Damso continued to dominate A6 in his Toyota Corolla, emulating his illustrious father's smooth approach. And with nothing to lose, Fecken and Levkovitz were attacking as hard as ever, but paid the price in the form of a puncture. Still going strong was the top car BMW of Blackman and Klaassen, forging its way up into contention behind Lawrence in Class A7. Volkswagen's typical A7 onslaught had now been left to Keith Coleman and Tony Ball, although the latter would eventually succumb to a burnt-out clutch on the last stage of the day. As far as the Africa Rally Championship entrants were concerned, the Ford Escort of White provided ample spectator value, while Kruger and Rowley were ahead in N2 after an uneventful run thus far. Proving that persistence does pay off, Barry Grobler and Paul van Wyk were also creeping up the leaderboard in their Volkswagen Polo player, despite ongoing problems with the misfire. By nightfall, this was still anyone's rally. Serge Damso, however, could have been forgiven for believing that everything was going his way. Ahead on the road with 2 stages to go, his target was simply to make the most of his dust-free run to open an unassailable lead, and he did just that. By comparison, everything was going wrong for Habich. A bad misfire hampered his progress in stages 9 and 10, while dust also slowed the Golf. Having built up a lead over teammate Kuhn, he now had to see the other Golf taking over second place. Gemmell had been rewarded for his patience by slipping almost unnoticed into 4th, while Lawrence showed his mettle by finishing the day in a gritty 5th place. And the only other N4 car in the top 10 was the Lancer Evo of Rueda and Botha. Of South Africa, with Volkswagen scrapping for second and Gemmell and Paisley waiting in the wings. The rest of the top 10 shows a strong run by JP Damso, still leading A6, while Singh only just manages to squeeze into the first 10.
I don't know, I mean, it